today.
And before that 30-second period began, Gardner-Webb had a 67% chance to win the game. Ultimately, it was the Lancers coming away with the win, and they have the opening tip. We'll show you the starting lineups for both sides, brought to you in part by Sunbelt Rentals. These two teams separated by half a game. Gardner-Webb 7th in the Big South standings out of an 11-team conference, and Longwood at 8th. First shot of the day comes from Zach Watson. It hits off the side of the backboard. And it's a quick stop for Gardner-Webb.
Zach Watson really helping the Lancers yesterday on the boards. 4 offensive rebounds, some big plays. Sometimes you see smaller numbers, but when you see enough of them, those statistics are real big difference makers when you look at that final tally.
Our referee crew is actually going to change their call, say that shot was off the fingertips of the defender. While that's still being sorted out, today's officiating crew features Sean Lingberger, Corey Haney, and Landon Braids.
I think they're about got it ready to go now.
Sometimes you just got to let them talk it out. I don't envy being a referee at all, so I'm in no position to rush them to any sort of decision. Now we're ready to get basketball back underway. Christian Wilson, who hit a big shot late in yesterday's contest, misses on his first shot today.
I'm sure we'll hit on that three-pointer that he crushed from the corner.
Jordan Sears had a tough day shooting yesterday, as did Jaheam Cornwall, who has the basketball now, defended by Deshaun Wade. And Cornwall is going to look to improve upon his numbers from yesterday. Just 8 points, a lot of it coming late, went 3 of 12 from the field. But the opening basket of today's contest still yet to find its appearance. Looked like an easy finish there from Kareem Reed, but rattles out. Munoz to Watson. He'll go up, won't get the basket, but gets the whistle. And Reed stays down on the floor holding his right leg. And that is not an injury that Gardner-Webb is.
Looks like he may have rolled his ankle a little bit.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of extra depth down low. It's just 9 players who played yesterday for Gardner-Webb. And you see 8th-year head coach Tim Kraft, 135 wins. 119 losses. He's now 11-3 all-time against Longwood. Reed is going to check out now. Reed, top 5 in the Big South in blocks per contest. Averages just under 7 points a game. Hopefully we'll see him return to this contest. But it's Zach Watson at the free throw line and knock it down the first free throw attempt. We have our first point.
TJ, we saw Kareem Reed really disrupt that interior play that the Longwood Lancers have really kind of gotten comfortable with this season. Overall, I thought Gardner-Webb's commitment to the scouting report and denying the ball on paint entries was exceptional. Reed was a big factor.
Cornwall finds Sears, corner tray, misses short. 3-point shooting was something that Tim Kraft talks about before the game. Wade stops, pops, the 3 won't drop. In specific, looking at yesterday's second half for Gardner-Webb, they went 0 for 9 from 3. That allowed Longwood to overcome the 11-point deficit at one point in that second set of 20. Shot no good from Falco. He stays with it and knocks it off the body of Juan Munoz. Falco had 3 offensive rebounds yesterday. You see the hustle he brings in and around the basketball, and he earns his team an extra possession.
Talking about numbers, 4 rebounds yesterday, 7 points, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Pretty efficient performer for the Gardner-Webb Bulldogs. Again, we said yesterday, just a utility player, strong, aggressive, hard to guard, soft touch.
A little too soft that time.
Mm-hmm.
Also good defense there from Christian Wilson. Longwood, one of the best defensive teams the Big South Conference has to offer. Actually, in conference play, they rank first in the Big South, and opponents scoring just under 63 points a game. Pass intended for Incarrium goes off his fingertips.
You know, I think it's going to be interesting to watch today, TJ. We saw good solid dribble penetration there by Juan Munoz into the paint and try to dish the ball in the paint to Nkarium. I just don't know if Gardner-Webb is going to allow much action like that versus an interior pass from the outside, inside. Probably a little bit easier opportunity.
It's an offensive foul called against Jermaine Mann, reigning freshman of the week. He had a tough go of it yesterday. Here's another look at the offensive foul. We said it yesterday. Feels like Jesper Granlund's good for at least one charge a game. He's met his quota.
He sells it.
I mean, credit to Jesper Granlund. He's not somebody you look at as a huge contributor in the scoring column, but he does it just about everywhere else for this Longwood squad. Justin Hill's shot denied. Block will be credited to Ludovic Dufial. Hill gets his retaliation, pokes it away. Munoz stops, finds Granlund for three. Shot just short. These two teams are combined 0 for 9 from the field to start. Just as we all expected, a little more than 3 minutes in, it's a 1-0 ball game. Munoz denies the entry pass, and it's tipped off the foot of Mann. That allowed Damarian Williams, our Gardner-Webb player to watch, to check in. That's another stop for this Longwood defense. See third-year head coach Griff Aldrich. 37 wins to 50 losses. Big part of his success with Longwood has been defending the home court. 24-15 during his tenure here at Jerome Kersey Court.
The defense continues here. Let's even put additional points on the board before we head into that first media timeout. Some zone-ish. You can see Longwood sagging a little bit into the paint. Daring Gardner-Webb to shoot the long ball. They've struggled a little bit on the road.
Foul on the floor to go against Cornwall. And that'll send us to our under 16-minute media time.
Great start to a defensive matchup that we knew was coming.
And on a more serious note, 4 turnovers already for Gardner-Webb. And that was something they really struggled with in the second half yesterday and allowed Longwood to creep back in and ultimately win that contest.
I think Coach Kraft had shared it always seems to be something a little bit different in causing disruption to the success of Gardner-Webb and some of those kind of random turnovers in the second half.
Here it's a turnover committed by Deshaun Wade. And Coach Kraft, when talking to him before today's contest, he put it pretty bluntly. He said we didn't rebound well in the second half. We didn't shoot well. We had too many turnovers. It's tough to win basketball games when all three of those things are working against you. And you don't have to be a basketball expert to agree with that.
We don't have to overcomplicate this.
It's
a
exactly
relatively
right.
simple game at times.
First time seeing Lance Terry out on the court. Man with it, just outside the three-point arc. Shot clock's down to 10. The three-point shot from Terry. Saran Wrap stays on the rim. Still looking for today's first field goal. Two sides now combined 0 for 11. Blygen drives in, can't convert. Rebound is gathered by Williams. Gardner-Webb running in the other direction. Might have been a carry instead. Williams for three, misses strong.
Okay, I'm ready for a basket now.
Patience is a virtue, and
I thought
you're being quite virtuous.
I thought we said that one yesterday.
Wade drives in, and there's the first field goal, and fittingly so, it comes from Wade. Longwood up by 3.
Of course, the young man scores at so many different levels. Obviously, we saw his shooting prowess yesterday. I think one of his greatest gifts, of course, is dribble penetration, short finishes in the paint.
Shot clock at 10. It's a 5-out offense for Gardner-Webb. Cornwall forced to do it himself, working against Christian Wilson. That's a great finish there, the senior from Brooklyn. But going back to talking about Deshaun Wade, Of course, the game winner yesterday, but that's not his only game winner against Gardner-Webb. Last year down in Bowling Springs, in overtime, about 90 seconds left, hits a step-back jumper right at the top of the three-point arc. Great shot. Here he tries his luck with another three and gets it to fall. He must be listening. He knows what we're talking about. But something about playing Gardner-Webb, it gives him that extra motivation, a couple of game winners, and he's already got 5 points today. Williams for three, indeed. He's scored in double figures in 4 straight. He's had at least 2 threes in all 4 of those games, already got 1 this afternoon.
An up-and-coming freshman in the Big South Conference. Certainly a player to watch, not just tonight, but as this season continues.
I think you could say that about both these teams. They're in the middle of the pack right now in the Big South, and they're both really young, getting a lot of minutes from newcomers as Watson hoists up a prayer. But these two teams are only going to get better over the next couple of years. Terry, open. This is off the side of the backboard. Uncharacteristic. Bad miss for the sophomore from Georgia.
Just have to think Terry's still trying to get his legs under him. Of course, first 6 games of the season, great start. He's been out for a while. His first game back coming off of that break was just yesterday. My understanding, he's an even better defender than scorer. Coach Kraft.
Jump ball puts the basketball into the hands of Gardner-Webb with the alternating possession. And the Running Bulldogs are on a 5-0 run, looking to take their first lead today. Here's another look at the first basket from Wade. That's a tough finish just outside the restricted circle. Then he knocks down a 3 the next possession. Kind of get a feel for everything he can bring on the offensive end. Now Gardner-Webb seeks their first lead. Cornwall penetrates. Wade comes away with the steal. Puts his head down, Euro step. The layup won't go. Wilson doesn't get the put-back basket, but he gets the whistle on his way up. And the woes have continued for Christian Wilson, though with that said, despite being 1 for 9 yesterday, he hits a huge game-tying 3 with just 36 seconds left in the game, and that's what allowed Wade to hit the eventual game winner. Here's another look at the foul after the first free throw from Wilson. 68% free throw shooter, knocks down the first one. Even when the points haven't been coming to quite the volume we might have expected for Wilson, he brings a whole lot of energy. He's been consistent on the defensive end. If he knocks down the second free throw, it'll extend the Longwood lead to 3. Didn't jinx that one.
Nope.
I've gotten a bad habit of bringing the broadcaster jinx with me, but
I feel like we've cursed this team a few times already this season.
Not this time, though, for the Queens native. Foul away from the basketball.
Head coach Griff Aldrich mixing it up just a little bit. Freshman Cameron O'Connor checking into the game. Our resident Roanoke, Virginia team player.
We've only seen Connor a handful of times this year, but he's a sharpshooter. Williams tries his luck from way downtown. It's a rebound grabbed by Terry. It'll be a jump ball that'll send us to our
some tick marks on that scoreboard. 5 points already. Steal.
Meanwhile, for Gardner-Webb, it's 2 points from Cornwall and 3 from Williams, our player to watch for the Running Bulldogs. Hill throws the lob. Leslie and Carey on with the flush.
I was watching Justin attack the basket and was thinking, now that's an interesting angle for a layup. Great look to the big man for the Longwood Lancers.
Longwood's lead grows to 5. Williams looks for the answer. The floater's true.
Yesterday, TJ, the Lancers were off to a quick start as well. In the first 6 minutes of the game, Lancers were up 10-4 before Gardner-Webb kind of pivoted the momentum in their direction.
Hill doesn't get the mid-range jumper to go. Rebound gathered by Dufial. He'll kick it out. Selden, corner 3. This is off the front of the iron. Hill open. Count it. Set a career high with 4 threes yesterday. And he gets his first triple today.
Had Deshaun Wade not gone 7 of 11 behind the three-point line, the story certainly would have been Justin Hill's three-point performance, picking up right where he left off. Great perimeter shooting from this freshman point guard for Longwood.
Sears a good shooter too, but went 0 for from deep in yesterday's contest. Has it poked away. Hill with the three, then comes away with the stop on the defensive side. Now here's the alley-oop that he threw moments before. Been a strong minute or so for the Houston, Texas native. But it is interesting. You look at the scoring yesterday for Longwood. You have Wade with 24. Hill finishes with 15. The next highest scorer, 6 from Christian Wilson. It was really a two-man show between Wade and Hill, to say the least. Hill tries his luck again and gets it to go.
I got to tell you, someone who I talked about his defense, DeMarion Williams, hand right there in the face of Justin Hill. Hill keeps moving back a little bit. He'd normally come off that ball screen from right to left. Heat check, took the shot. Good stuff from number 11.
Terry misses another three. Longwood keeps the 9-point advantage. Munoz drives in. It'll be a jump ball. Alternating possession puts it in the hands of the running Bulldogs. Good play there from Williams. He'll check out. Actually, he won't. Terry will, and Jacob Falco returns to the hardwood.
No, that's that dribble penetration against this great interior defense that Coach Kraft has set up to help defend against Longwood's offensive game inside the paint.
That's with Kareem Reed not on the floor. We have not seen him return since he went down with what looked like an ankle injury. Second defender comes, kick out to Falco. Shot clock down below 10. Three-point shot from Selden, off the mark. Offensive rebound gathered by Dufial. And Gardner-Webb gets another opportunity. Sears, good pass. Dufial can't finish, but gets the whistle.
Great defensive energy by Longwood, kind of mixing up how they're defending each possession, keeping Gardner-Webb on their toes offensively.
Dovik Dufial, junior, 73% free throw shooter. First attempt missing off the front of the rim. Stays at a 9-point game. Here's a look at the foul that sends Dufial to the line. Sears really thread the needle. Perfect bounce pass. And if you're a Longwood fan, you can look at it as a positive foul against Christian Wilson. Dufial comes away with 1 point instead of 2. '24th all-time meeting between these two sides. Currently, it's a 15-8 advantage in the favor of Gardner-Webb. Hill penetrates. Finger roll clunks around. Rebound gathered by Selden. Corner three, Sears continues his shooting woes. Munoz in transition. He's had a hard time shooting the basketball as of late. 5 for his last 34 field goal attempts. Mid-range jumper, Munoz gets it to go.
You know, TJ, that play started with Juan Munoz bringing the ball up court in transition. It was almost a 1-on-2 scenario. Some players will take that. He did a nice job bringing the ball back out. Good patient play action by the senior point guard, coming off nice and tight off that ball screen, get to the soft spot of the defense. He's money from 15 feet.
Justin Hill with a layup. Gives him 8, showcasing remarkable student athletes, or connect to school sites and social media outlets, all from one place. Remember, the source for all your conference information is BigSouthSports.com. Gardner-Webb with possession as they trail by 12. I think the big storyline early on, their inefficiency from beyond the arc. Now 1 for 11 today. Pass down low, that'll work. Sammy Ituda, first time we've called his name, not only today, but in the series in general, but he now enters the scoring column.
Gardner-Webb 1 of 11 from behind the three-point line. They were 4 of 22 from behind it yesterday. We know they've had some of these woes on the road from long range.
I mean, Gardner-Webb entered this series first in the conference in three-point shooting percentage. And in specific, he's not on the court right now. Actually, he just checked in. But Jordan Sears, 0 for 7 between the two games now, or a game and a half. He's a 45% three-point shooter. Give credit to Longwood's defense, though. The turnover leads to a three for Wade.
Nation.
Definitely up to 7th, surpassing Gardner-Webb. But if High Point loses to Charleston Southern later, they could go from 8th all the way up to tied for 6th, then start to flirt with the idea of a first-round bye. Very similar to what happened to this team last year.
You know, looking at those scenarios, and right around this time last season, I swear it's verbatim. We're talking about the same things. This late run by Longwood University, head coach Griff Aldrich, I'm not sure if he likes inflicting this upon himself, but the defense of Longwood really seems to be coming on strong all 3 seasons that he's been part of this university.
Sears is now 0 for 3 from trifecta land today. Munoz able to draw the body contact and gets the whistle. Meanwhile, for Gardner-Webb, you're trying to solidify having that 7th spot, but also if High Point loses and you win today, you go in a position where you're back in that 6th spot where you started this series at. And also, this is just a Gardner-Webb team that's really struggled on the road. 1-9, to be exact, entering today's game. Longwood's strength, as Munoz misses the first free throw, is playing at home. They've won 4 in a row here at Jerome Kersey Court, and overall in the season, they're 6-4.
You can almost kind of, you can hear the momentum, you can hear the energy coming from the Longwood bench, from the coaches. A little bit quieter on the visiting team side. Seems like this Longwood team is a little bit more connected this afternoon than perhaps the Bulldogs.
Munoz goes 1 for 2 from the stripe. He's now got 3 points. Gardner-Webb trailing by 16. Zone defense for Longwood. Cornwall, the trifecta, hits nothing but the bottom of the net. And he's really taken over the mantle as the leading scorer on this Gardner-Webb team since the departure of Jose Perez, now playing at Marquette, one of the best players the Big South Conference had to offer, freshman of the year at one point. That's a tough void to try to fill if you're Gardner-Webb. Munoz, 3, misses short. And it's going to be an offensive foul. Looks like Mann is the guilty party, either him or Williams. Referees are going to talk it over. Actually, they're going to rule the foul against Longwood. So now with that all sorted out, Gardner-Webb will have possession. Cornwall brings it across half court. Time for a team best 5 points. Foul away from the ball. And yesterday for Gardner-Webb, scored 54 points. They only had 1 player in double figures, but everybody else who touched the floor had at least 1 made field goal. Today, they don't have the go-to option who's led the way in scoring, and it hasn't been the team effort, at least not quite yet. Yesterday, it was a tale of many different portions of that game. Very, very much a game of runs, and that could certainly be the case again today. But Longwood, that defense has been stifling to say the least.
I think at one point, Longwood down by 11 yesterday at about the 14-minute mark in the second half. Again, after leading early in this contest, certainly way too early to pass any judgments on Gardner-Webb's ability to get back into this basketball game.
Duffial gets the bucket and the whistle. Opportunity to get the old school three-point play. Hey, you got the 3 from Cornwall last possession. Opportunity to get a three-point play this time down this side of the court. Just like we said with Longwood yesterday, it's not going to happen in one possession. It's just slowly but surely going to happen over time. And maybe you set a goal here, a little more than 5.5 left in the first half. Make it a single-digit deficit as we go to half.
That's
and then work your way back into
exactly
it. Exactly
what I imagine Coach Kraft is talking to his guys about on substitutions and rotations. They're coming in and coming out. Just possession at a time, get it close. A lot of time left to be played in this game.
Longwood shooting 50% from beyond the arc. Esper Granlund with the head fake. The runner from just outside the circle rattles out. Cornwall pass fake from the elbow. This is strong. Good rebound from Deshaun Wade. His second on the afternoon.
Good decision by freshman Justin Hill. Get this offense set.
Wade lines up the triple and has it hit.
Already
3-point shot number 3 for Wade.
a few steps down the floor before that ball went through the net.
Oh, I tell you what, he wears the number 3. He is D. Wade. And the way he's played over the past, game and a half now, certainly giving Longwood shades of that D. Wade in the 2000s to 2010s era. Turnover for Gardner-Webb, 7th for the running Bulldogs. Munoz in transition will pull it out, and Longwood will set up from the half court.
You're talking about number 3. Deshaun Wade's favorite player growing up as a kid, Allen Iverson.
Both from Virginia Beach, seems like a good fit. Shot clock's at 5. We're down under 4 minutes left in the first half. Watson goes up with an acrobatic shot and draws the whistle. We'll step aside and come back with him at the free throw line as you're watching Longwood.
Back on their defense, they are daring Gardner-Webb to shoot the long ball. It's turning into a little bit of a chess match. We saw the defensive adjustments that Gardner-Webb made yesterday to keep the ball out of the paint from Longwood. Head coach Griff Aldrich doing a little bit of the same here today.
We return from the media timeout with Zach Watson at the free throw line. Here's the foul in case you missed it. If that ball hit the bottom of the net, I might have lost my mind. But here Watson goes 2 for 2. He's got 3 points, all of them coming from the stripe.
That would be back-to-back days of losing our minds. I think we should keep it.
At this point, especially in a COVID college basketball season, I need to just be prepared for anything that could come my way.
A lot of energy from that Longwood bench over there.
Williams works against Blygen. Now hands it off. Terry, step back, mid-range jumper. Clunks off the iron a couple times. Rebound to Wilson.
It's a great defensive possession for Longwood. Good team basketball defense.
And Carey one picks up his dribble. Kicks it out to Munoz. The redshirt junior wrapped around pass to Blygen. 3-point shot barely nicks the rim. Terry brings it back the other way for Gardner-Webb. I got another number that stands out for me. Gardner-Webb, 7 turnovers. And that has paid dividends for Longwood. 5 points off of those turnovers. Williams drives in and draws the foul. Williams, as of now, tied for a team best, 5 points. He's going to head to the free throw line.
Christian Wilson giving a bit of advice to the young Justin Hill, showing him just how low you've got to be in that defensive stance to defend against Demarion Williams when he attacks the basket.
Williams does not convert, though. Whistle on the play. You're looking at it, and it's tough to get low against Williams. I mean, you're talking about somebody who's 6'5" and almost 200 pounds.
Between Williams and Mann is quite the combination of perimeter players for Gardner-Webb. Again, great things to come from Coach Kraft with this young group. A team to watch. And again, just kind of still feels like at any moment, momentum can shift to their favor.
That foul on that last play was the 7th to go against Gardner-Webb, so Christian Wilson will head to the line for a 1-on-1 opportunity, just where we saw Williams at the other end of the hardwood. So it's bonus from here on out for the final 2.5+ minutes.
Wilson already 3 for 3 from the free throw line, doing his job on the glass.
I'm sure he's getting some reassurance and some confidence. I mean, he did a huge shot yesterday. But when you talk about Wilson, it's not a question of talent. It's about, does he feel confident taking a shot? So even just at the free throw line, seeing the ball at the bottom of the net, I'm sure goes a long way for him. Williams turns it over.
All you got to do is win by one, so we know those free throws matter.
Longwood looking for win number 5 in a row at home. Wade defended by Cornwall, muscles his way into the painted area, and with a great finish, Longwood stretches the lead to 19.
Deshaun Wade really showing great fundamental basketball. Off the dribble penetration, he slides up that three-point line from the bottom corner on the right up to the wing, creating space, stays patient, lets Hillen and Carrium do their screen action, and just waits. It's good offense.
Williams from way downtown overcompensates and misses strong. Whistle on the play. Looks like the guilty party is going to be Leslie and Carrium. And with Gardner-Webb in the bonus, Jermaine Mann will head to the line. And we talked about the three-point shooting woes, and maybe the free throw line is the way that Gardner-Webb slowly but surely inches their way back into this one. It's not flashy. It's very much the grittier way of doing it, but the results speak. You'll take the results however you can get them.
Well, and that clock stops.
Also just allows you to catch your breath.
That's what I would always, if I was on the line and if I wasn't shooting, I'd look at my teammates and say, slow, take your time. I'm dying here.
And right now it's been a high-tempo game. Wouldn't necessarily go track meet with it, but it's had some good pace to it, especially for Longwood the other way. So if you're Gardner-Webb, you get a chance to just take a deep breath. And now it's Anthony Selden that's heading to the line.
And when you think about, I'm pretty sure we were here 24 hours ago. So you're seeing quite a few players kind of bend over at the waist. I know that there's some new statistics out there that show maybe that's a better way of catching your breath. I don't know, the old school way was a sign of fatigue, but both of these teams working really hard this afternoon, coming off of a game just a day ago.
And you're talking about 9 players touching the court yesterday for Gardner-Webb, just 8 for Longwood. It's not like these two teams went 12 deep or anything of the sort. And it's those familiar faces getting a lot of the minutes today. Selden goes 1 for 2. And now another foul. This one's going to go against Lance Terry. Well, if you wanted to catch your breath,
here we go.
We've certainly gotten the opportunity to do just that.
Breathe, TJ.
Yeah. Me in specific, I'm getting really gassed and very tired over here talking. So. It'll be Jesper Granlund stepping to the line. He's one of just 3 players for Longwood to not hit the scoring column, accompanied by Aaron O'Connor and Haru Blygen.
TJ, I was going back and watching some of the film from last night. That late offensive action from Gardner-Webb, we did see some dribble drive offense. That's an offense that this Longwood team has already seen this season. Of course, VMI here in the Commonwealth, notorious for their dribble drive offense. We struggled with that a little bit earlier in the season. I thought the Lancers did a much better job going back to that connection piece that head coach Griff Aldrich has been talking about this season. Focused, intentional, connected defensive flow really helped spoil the Gardner-Webb chances late yesterday. A sign of growth for this Lancer squad indeed.
That last play just about summed up the day thus far for Gardner-Webb. Looked like Mann had the rebound, but has it poked away, goes off his leg and out of bounds. Just under a minute left in the first half. Munoz comes off the screen. Beautiful fake. A little short on the shot. Williams with the size advantage against Munoz. Backs down the defender, goes up, shot counts, and the whistle to go with it. A grown man's bucket for Damarian Williams.
Surrounded by 3 blue jerseys. Hung in there, drew the contact.
Feels like the freshman from Arizona is starting to hit his stride late in the season, though, missing on the free throw. Still got a team best 7 points. Gardner Webb now 3 for 8 from the free throw line. Counter that, Longwood 8 of 11. Six plus seconds differential between shot and game clock. Granlund drives right, shot denied. Good defense from Selden and a foul on the play. Man will head to the free throw line. And that was the 10th foul to go against Longwood, so it's going to be 2 free throws no matter what.
Great first step here by Jesper Granlund. Watch where he lands, TJ. He is outside of that lane line. That is Gardner Webb's defensive commitment to making sure that you have to take a tough shot when you come in here. His shoulders have got to come back square to finish at that glass. It's a good defensive possession. Great offensive attack by Granlund. I bet you if he'd stopped about 3/4 of the way into that drive, the defender would have flown right by him, and he probably would have had an uncontested layup.
That's some of the X's and O's I love working with you. Those extra details. Me, I just see it, and it's processed. You're thinking about the adjustment to the adjustment on top of another one.
It's a curse.
Man goes 0 for 2. It's a turnover of sorts. 3 seconds to go in the first half. Hill absorbs contact. 3-point shot just off the mark, and that's it for the first half. Longwood leads by 16.
On this, he's really just a wonderful technician from what I've been able to see so far, is finding victories for these young players that don't necessarily show up on a stat sheet. What are some of those keys that he has on his dry erase board in the locker room that aren't statistics on a box score that he'll be able to point to regardless of win, lose, or draw and say, hey, guys, we did this. We got this part right. Those young players have to hear that. There is victory outside of a box score.
Longwood gets opening possession and the opening bucket of the second half. Gardner Webb enters this contest 7th in the Big South, standing just a half a game ahead of Longwood. So the winner of this game obviously has huge seeding implications. Longwood could leapfrog Gardner Webb. Meanwhile, Gardner Webb looking to snap their road woes. Longwood looking to make it 5 consecutive wins at home. Foul on the floor. Looks like it'll go against Zach Watson. I mean, if you're Gardner Webb, it's tough to win a game when you're shooting 14% from 3 and 30% from the free throw line. Feels like one of those two categories is got to come up and come up by a lot if they're going to make the comeback as they trail by 18.
I think it's important folks remember just how hard it is to win on the road. Pepper and the fact that you're playing games back-to-back. We've talked about this earlier in the season. Feels like, you know, you're in these Thanksgiving Day Classics where you're playing back-to-back games, except these guys are doing it all the time.
That is something that's marveled me all year watching the Big South Conference. See the offensive foul from Jermaine Mann once more working against Juan Munoz. But I asked Coach Kraft before the game, how do you do that? You had such a hard-fought game yesterday, and I've asked Coach Aldrich the same. How do you do that? Just 24 hours up and do it again. And, you know, Coach Kraft put it well. It's what you're asked to do, and plus we love basketball. So that makes it a little easier as opposed to being dragged through something. It's something you want to look forward to when you wake up in the morning.
I think to that point, and speaking with Coach Aldrich, big
Munoz,
three by
are you
Juan
kidding
Munoz. Juan Munoz picking up 5 ice bags on the offensive foul that he just took down here, hitting the fadeaway 3.
After the crossover, a slick sequence for the redshirt junior. Gardner Webb trails by 21. Pass goes down low, and it's out of the hands of Dufial.
The defense for Longwood clicking on all cylinders right now.
Wade kicks it over. Christian Wilson for 3. This is off the front of the rim.
Mentioning earlier what head coach Aldrich was discussing, just still finding teachable moments. You know, it's what you're talking about with Coach Kraft. Here's what's exciting is you've got a player like Cornwall. You look up at that scoreboard, it starts to get a little bit out of balance. These players are still fighting, still growing, still learning. Coach Aldrich talking about course, the fun momentum of last night is what do you do next? You try to just carry over that momentum. And he said, no, I want to teach our guys how we got the momentum. Let them focus on that.
Focusing on the cause as opposed to the effect, certainly something that goes a long way. And life overall, Cornwall goes 2 for 2 at the line, the lone senior for this Gardner-Webb team. And he's a terrific leader for a very young squad. Juan Munoz with the basketball, and of course we have to mention it's his birthday. I mean, he hasn't necessarily torn it up for 40 points or anything like that, but he's put together quite the performance. Certainly been effective.
Happy birthday to the PG.
Turnover there is not the birthday gift he was looking for, but I mean, Juan
Maybe
Munoz
he was trying to pass it to us.
Yeah, that's what he was.
It was an
again,
assist.
this is the players can hear us. It's that theory. But I mean, Juan Munoz, it's a story you've heard once, and I'm going to say it again. I mean, just the fact he's playing basketball right now just talks and speaks to the perseverance and the dedication he has and the love for the game. You go through back-to-back ACL injuries, and just about any athlete then ponders, is it worth continuing to play? And Munoz answered with a yes, and he has battled back hard and become one of the best guards inside the conference.
You cannot question this young man's heart, one iota.
And he's routinely the first person in the gym. I mean, it's a staple. You can count on it. He'll be the first one here for Longwood. Lancers calling for the foul. Jordan Sears will inbound from underneath the basket.
TJ, when I got in the gym today, one of the Lancer faithful managers, for the managers that are out there, we live and die with those guys. Of course, Cornwall heating up. Juan rebounding for the Deshaun Wade look-alike half-court shots coming from the management crew.
And speaking of half-court shots in pregame, it was funny to watch and start seeing players just every once in a while hoist one up. Deshaun Wade's, of course, chuckling, giving a hard time to his teammates. Nah, you can't do it like me, et cetera, et cetera. But it is interesting. After a game winner last night, people start thinking about adding it towards their arsenal. And Carrywell, no good, but he gets the offensive rebound, and Longwood gains an extra possession.
Second effort by Carrywell.
And one more note on that half-court shot. Coach Aldrich with his big takeaway. Now I know Deshaun can shoot from 50 feet out.
I mean, you've got to have a guy, right?
Got to have that Steph Curry effect. Someone's got to be able to do it. Granlund, good footwork, but a good contest from Falco gets the stop for Gardner-Webb. Cornwall with a 6-0 run of his own. Junior Falco, tough shot in the painted area, gets the whistle, and that'll send us to our under 16-minute media timeout. We'll take a quick pause and welcome back to Jerome Kersey Court. We return with Jacob Falco at the free throw line. And the Bulldogs looking to eat into a 15-point deficit. Looking for just their second road win on the year. This is a Gardner-Webb team that schedule is not really set in place right now. Still have to play a game against USC Upstate, a series against Radford. But I want to give a lot of credit to the Big South Conference. Every conference has kind of figured out their own way of handling COVID and everything. The Big South with these back-to-backs, and the conference tournament doesn't start till second day of March. So you have that flexibility to add in those games that you might have missed from earlier in the year. Longwood has to make up a series against Charleston Southern. Blygen drives in. What a finish at the rim.
I've been waiting for Haru Blygen to kind of do what he does best, some great athletic play. Zippy guard, capable of great things in and around the basket. Great defender as well.
That was his first made basket. All but one player for Longwood into the scoring column. Man works down low against Wilson. Good defense from the junior. Longwood with another stop. They've held the running Bulldogs to shoot 30% from the field. Deshaun Wade is scorching hot still. Trifecta number 4 on the day.
I want to find out what he ate for breakfast. I want to know what he ate for a pregame meal. I want some of that. He's living his life right, TJ.
Wade has been tremendous. Sears for 3, rattles it home. First made 3 of the series. Came into the 2-game set with Longwood, just about a 45% shooter. Started out 0 for 8 between yesterday and today. Big make there. Gardner-Webb's going to need a few more shots like that to fall.
TJ, you were talking about the conference tournament. We might be able to talk a little more about this. The unique format that the Big South Conference has chosen to go to is a higher seed. Of course, your top 5 seeds are going to get a bye, but there's no neutral site. We're not, the original tournament this year, I believe, was going to be held at Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is almost an old D2 format. I've seen this format too many times. A lot of travel involved, but under the circumstances, the direction that the conference has decided to go, which is why home court and projecting out who is going to have to play the 1 seed in that first semifinal round. Of course, we're talking about Winthrop, the Eagles having a stellar season.
Bradford not far behind them. And if the season were to end today, these two teams would both host a home playoff game, which is obviously huge for both sides. Longwood 6-4. If the score holds, they'll improve to 7-4 at home. And it would be 5 consecutive wins on their home hardwood. Meanwhile, we've talked about it a few times, as Cornwall with a ridiculously tough shot hits the bottom of the net. They're 1-9 at home, so obviously much better, 1-9 on the road, obviously much better at home. So for them, first round home game would be a huge plus. Longwood wins, they'd move up to 7, and Gardner-Webb would fall to 8. Juan Munoz gets another triple to fall with it.
Happy birthday! Cornwall getting nice and warm here. Of course, Longwood was up by 21 early in the second half. Juan Munoz just hit a real clutch dagger 3 to just kind of say, we're not ready to do that. And of course, we're back to that barter system from yesterday.
Cornwall must have overheard you. He is not letting this game get out of reach. He's got 16 points, 3 for 3 from deep, and we're back to a 13-point difference. This is the Jaheam Cornwall that we expected. And he turned it on in the last minute last night. But here in the second half in specific, he has looked like the preseason first-team All-Big South player that we know he is. Gardner-Webb gets the stop.
He's a senior. He's been here. He's comfortable in clutch situations.
Sears gets a second triple to fall. And now you feel the energy from that side of the court. That Gardner-Webb bench has come alive. And it's a 10-point game.
TJ Gardner-Webb has actually had Longwood's number in Willett. Lancers won here last against Gardner-Webb January 6th of 2018. So it's been a minute.
Of course, before last night. And Cornwall drives in and gets the whistle. You can see it on your screen. He is determined to get his team back into this one. Senior from Brooklyn, New York, averaging 13 a contest. Well, he's blown by that today, already up to 16. Has only missed 1 shot. This is his second trip to the free throw line. First attempt is up and good. He's shooting just under 80% from the stripe this season. Here's a look at the foul.
TJ, before the game, we were talking about kind of that cool customer that Coach Kraft is. These plays have see a couple little fist pumps coming out of Coach, watching his senior guard.
Even he's talking to the referee right now. He doesn't look like this is too far out of reach. He's very composed. And, I mean, we're back to a 9-point game. Yesterday, at one point, Gardner-Webb had a 75% chance to win, and Longwood overcame that with 11 minutes left. Anything can happen in the next 12-plus minutes of action as Blingen gets the whistle in his favor.
You can feel the pace picking up here just a little bit. The big hard clap from Coach Kraft getting his guys pumped up for this next offensive possession.
So Blingen at the line, only 2 points on the day and misses in his first free throw attempt. And Hill might have deservedly so been called for the travel. Didn't end up having the whistle blown against him, but it was something Gardner-Webb was looking for. Blingen knocks down the second free throw. Back to a 10-point game. And this speaks to the fight that we've seen from Gardner-Webb. Just to even have this game in a position to get it back to single digits on the deficit. This won't help, though. Offensive foul called against Williams.
Williams almost too strong for his own good, just tilting that shoulder just a little bit.
Under 12 minutes left till the conclusion. Longwood looking to leapfrog Gardner-Webb in the conference standings. And looking to sweep the series. Hill, tough shot, tries to go off the backboard, but to no avail.
That's a difficult shot. Great defensive help by Leslie and Carrium coming all the way across to assist Hill on Cornwall. Griff Galdrich talked about the importance of their secondary defense, that help side rotation yesterday. It's going to be really important today.
Two teams exchange misses, a near turnover. Anthony Selden, though, able to catch his basketball just in time. Shot no good from Williams. Offensive rebound gathered by Dufial. Now a three from Cornwall. Count it. Basketball going every which direction, but ultimately Cornwall puts it through the nylon.
Bulldog bench is alive.
And rightfully so. We're down to a 7-point game as we head to the under 12-minute time. Wood, deservingly so, being named our strong move of the game. Brought to you in part by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Under 11 minutes till the conclusion, Gardner-Webb has battled back from down 21, and they force a turnover. Travel called against. Gardner-Webb with possession out of the media timeout and looking to continue to claw into the now 7-point deficit. Selden working against Wilson. Left-handed finish is good.
Everything clicking right now for Gardner-Webb.
It was once a 21-point Longwood lead. 18.5 left to play till the conclusion. It's now down to 5.
I hate to sound like a broken record. We talked about this Gardner-Webb team being very capable. Important basket there by Justin Hill. That's what really impresses me about him. Young player, savvy decision maker, important basket at an important time.
That put Hill into double figures with 10, second Longwood player to reach that. Terry drives in and gets the whistle. And that's where the success has followed for Gardner-Webb. They went 3 of 10 from the free throw line in the first half. These will be free throws 6 and 7 on the way from Lance Terry here in the second half for Gardner-Webb, and they're 4 for 5. And they're shooting the three-point shot better. 5 of 6 here in the second half. They went 2 of 14 in the entire first half. Terry knocks down the first free throw. Yesterday got his first taste of game action since December 30th. Had been battling an injury, as you see the foul. But prior to being hurt, averaging 15.5 points a game and was a more than 91% free throw shooter. Here he goes 2 for 2. Terry up into the scoring column. First 2 points on the day. Still looking for his first field goal, however. Hill with another floater. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Back to a 7-point game.
A smaller guard. He really has mastered the teardrop. Little floater by number 11, Justin Hill. He's getting some tips from his all-everything mother. Great standout basketball player from the University of Virginia. Some good pedigree there with Justin Hill.
His father, no slouch, the all-time assist record holder at New Mexico State. But you're exactly right. Donna and Keith have got to be very happy of Justin. Another chance here for the Gardner-Webb offense, however. Shot clock down below 10. Williams with a tough hook shot. Good defense from Deshaun Wade. Offensive rebound gathered by Mann. Tough look over Watson. No good. The junior grabs the rebound for Longwood.
All that defense, all Zach Watson. Tremendous help side rotation. Give his teammate a good look, then sprint back to defend his man. And secures the D-board. It's like stickers on a football helmet. He'd be getting a sticker from me right now.
Munoz step back. Just short on the attempt. Sears open for 3. Off the back iron, it's going to be a foul against Zach Watson. He tossed Mann down to the hardwood. That is the 7th foul to go against Longwood, so it is bonus from here on out for Gardner-Webb. 1-1 opportunity for Mann.
We talked about this exact scenario the other way around last night with Longwood getting into the bonus.
Mann is 0 for 3 from the free throw line today. He needs to go 2 for 2 here if Gardner-Webb's going to continue to make the comeback. Still 8:50 left to be played, but
got to make them count.
Not too many more points you can leave at the line at this point if you're Gardner-Webb.
I'll tell you, it is about the worst thing when you look at a close game and that box score, and you've done just about every single thing right, and your free throw percentage is really askew. Oh, yeah.
Today was the 5th consecutive start for Mann, 3-star prospect from 247 Sports. We're 13th ranked player in Georgia, and he goes 2 for 2.
That's some good recruiting trips to Dutchtown High School while at Georgia State University. Some phenomenal basketball down there.
Back to a 5-point game. This is about as close as Gardner-Webb has had it ever since the opening minutes. Hill takes the screen from Incarrium. Now the big man from Georgia. Back down, Dufial. Shot fake. Layup no good. Rebound. Picked up by Mann. Coach Aldrich looking for a foul on the Incarrium shot. But Leslie Incarrium with good defensive hands pokes the basketball away.
Good hustle by Haru Blygen. I think he just kind of fell on the out-of-bounds line, though.
Nonetheless, it prevents a look from underneath the basket for the Gardner-Webb offense. Good hustle there from Incarrium to get all the way back. It'll be Sears to inbound from underneath the hoop. Here's another look at it. Williams thinks about the three, now steps back. This is short.
Big rebound by Christian Wilson.
Hill drives in, basket, will count, and he got the whistle.
I think Mann is looking for the push-off by Justin Hill.
Reason for the hesitation was
so
thought
sure.
it might have been the push-off. That's what Gardner-Webb is lobbying for. And even Hill there at the end of the replay is waiting to see who the whistle is
Are you
on.
going to call it or are you not going to call it?
Hill up to 14 points. The first time we've seen him at the charity stripe. Second most when it comes to scoring figures for Longwood behind Deshaun Wade with 16. And Hill now at 15. He'll be checked out. Juan Munoz will return to the game. Only one player in double-digit scoring for Gardner-Webb. It's Jaheam Cornwall, and he's got a game-high 20.
We've got 8 minutes left to play here. Hill has already matched his offensive output from yesterday.
Which was a productive output.
Indeed it was. A little bit more of what we've seen from Justin Hill, dribble penetration, some floaters, things like that. Williams really starting to take control now.
He muscles his way to the basket. He's up to 9.
Williams, Mann, and Cornwall. That's a nice trifecta perimeter players for this Gardner-Webb squad.
They've been playing without Kareem Reed, who got hurt maybe 4 minutes into this contest. 4th in the Big South in blocks per game, but Gardner-Webb has continued to fight through it. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Wade trying to beat it. Williams comes away with the steal and draws the foul. And that'll send us to the under 8-minute timeout. Longwood leads by 6 on ESPN+. Been big on the defensive side and on the glass.
Lancers moving in almost towards double bonus territory. Certainly Gardner-Webb has struggled a little bit from the free throw line, mostly in the first half. Second half,
much better.
Way better.
They're 9 of 10 right now. Williams, the first free throw, is into double-digit scoring at 10, joining Cornwall, who has 20. Second free throw rattles in as well, and we're down to a 4-point margin between these two sides. If you're just joining us, at one point Longwood had a 21-point lead this half, about 11 minutes game time ago. Gardner-Webb has fought hard and fought valiantly for their efforts. It's a 2-possession game. Hill turns it over. Coach Aldrich frustrated, looking for the foul. Williams finds Cornwall and has the pinky toe drag across the sideline.
It's a wide receiver check right there.
looking like some of Patrick Mahomes' receivers in the Super Bowl. Sorry, I had to go there. Any Kansas City fans, I apologize. Unnecessary shot in their direction.
Hey, did you see Tom Brady throw that trophy to Gronk on a boat?
Another dime. Foul on the floor. This one will go against Gardner Webb. 16th foul for the running Bulldogs. So the next foul will send Longwood to the free throw line in bonus territory. So if you enjoy watching free throws, good news, you're in store for a bunch. Already 35 between the two sides. We're going to see plenty more. Hill, the floater, rattles in.
I didn't know if he was looking to throw the ball to the backside for another alley-oop dunk. Soft touch.
That's the third, maybe fourth time we've seen him just pull up with that runner with varying contests. Sometimes it's open, and that one was not. But it doesn't matter. He's got a team-high 17. Williams penetrates. Give him the basket and the foul. Williams with takeover ignited. He's got 13, and with a free throw can bring it back to a one-possession game.
Williams really digging in, using his strength, body balance, composure on that dribble penetration, finishing in and around the basket, increasing that field goal percentage, making it look very easy for the Bulldogs. Again, just a freshman. I want to fortune tell here a little bit, but Coach Kraft has assembled a group of players that look to be very talented in seasons to come.
Demarin Williams putting together a campaign for next week's Freshman of the Week inside the Big South Conference. It was Jermaine Mann who won it. And I think it's going to be a different running Bulldog this week. Justin Hill might have something to say about it. He drives in and draws that contact. He'll head back to the free throw line.
Coach Kraft's got his head in his hands, looking at the Gardner Webb bench, kind of wondering, wait, what happened right there? There's some politicking perhaps by head coach Griff Aldrich.
A battle between the first-year players. Hill 1 for 1 from the line so far today. Already got a team best 17 points. First free throw rattles in. Here's another look at the foul. And if you've been watching these Longwood broadcasts throughout the year, you know we've said it a ton of times. Hill has the talent. And at this point, I'm starting to think the basketball IQ has caught up, at least getting used to the speed at which the college level is played at. And at this point, he's playing like a senior, way more than a freshman.
You know, we've worked our way pretty much through most of the conference opponents at this point. Seen a lot of good, talented freshman basketball players. I have to say that this Gardner Webb crew, obviously that's what a great senior looks like in Cornwall. But there's some really talented freshmen on this Bulldogs team as I kind of start to formulate that freshman of the year thought process.
Down to a 2-point game. Longwood will have to reset the offense. Hill defended by Falco. Clean dribble moves. This time the floater won't fall. Gardner Webb can tie this game up. We have not seen this game tied since the opening tip. Cornwall
split.
Drives in, finds man. It'll be a block against Watson.
Wow, shifty take by Cornwall. Just sliced through those two defenders getting into the paint. Incredible footwork by the senior.
Listen to this stat line for Cornwall. 23 points. About to get a chance to add 2 more. 8 of 9 from the field. 5 for 5 from trifecta land. And 2 for 3 from the free throw line, not including these 2 upcoming attempts. Also an assist and a steal to go with it.
Now,
My
TJ,
goodness.
He missed a shot late yesterday that went short, if you remember, and he kind of had some self-talk, was a little bit disappointed with his shot selection or the miss. Kind of just reminding the rest of us in the basketball universe, I don't do that often.
It was an ugly miss, and then he went into takeover mode yesterday and came up with a couple of clutch shots. Ultimately missed a layup that then set up Deshaun Wade's game winner. Cornwall knocks down the free throw, and we have our first tie today. Yesterday's contest saw 5 ties and 8 lead changes. I'm starting to think we're going to see that trend continue over the last 5 minutes of action.
I mean, by all means, Why not welcome the people of Sports Center into our world again?
Munoz defended by Sears. Dumps it down low. Watson, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Forced to put it up. Tough finish. A grown man's bucket puts Longwood back ahead.
Really had to muscle his way through that defense to finish the basket. Zach Watson coming up with clutch plays all the time, offensive, defensive.
Longwood's bench to its feet, chanting defense as if they're the student body here at Longwood. Cornwall with just his second miss from the field, first from 3, but a foul on the floor against Longwood. Foul charge to Zach Watson, his 4th. Dovic Dufial heads to the line, trying to retie this game. He's 2 for 3 from the stripe thus far. The first free throw, a centimeter short. Dufial second in the rebounding category for Gardner-Webb, just behind Mann with 8. Dufial has 6. He's looking for point number 5 and gets it. Christian Wilson and Leslie and Carrywum checked in between free throw attempts. Pass intended for Munoz, tipped out of play by Sears.
Now, TJ, I always find it interesting. Essentially, you've got 2 point guards on the floor for Longwood and Justin Hill and Juan Munoz. See how head coach Griff Aldrich uses both of these guards. Who's the primary ball handler? Who's the shooter? Oftentimes, he'll interchange them depending upon who's got the hot hand. Of course, early in the season, it was Juan Munoz, and you had Justin Hill running the point guard spot. Justin Hill developing that perimeter shot now really becomes 2 tough people to guard.
Wilson still looking for his first field goal, but Longwood earns another opportunity and another possession. Hill drives in. Lots of contact and a ridiculous finish. The lead's back to 3.
Just a little rim bounce. All predicated off that offensive rebound and second chance shot opportunity. Again, Christian Wilson might have missed the shot. Key rebound sets it up for Justin Hill to get the score.
Basketball is tipped out of play. We'll step aside and come back with the final like basketball.
So here's the deal, TJ. Your assistant coaches right now are checking foul counts. They're looking at free throw shooting possessions. Who's got the possession arrow? Getting ready for late game situation. You hit that 2-minute mark, and it all matters.
Jaheam Cornwall with a game-high 25. Feeds the hot hand. Williams, his pass tipped away by Carrywoman Wilson. Munoz gathers it for Longwood.
Really nice defensive effort there by Longwood. You notice the ball was entered into the right side of the floor. It got barely back up to the top. It came back to the right, and then an interior pass. Longwood's defense never had to move. Gardner-Webb threw it right to him.
Hill for 3. Off the side of the rim. Offensive rebound. Grabbed for a moment by Carrywum, then tipped out. Gardner-Webb takes over.
I think these are the moments, of course, head coach Aldrich, again, as you're dealing with younger players, and the same with Coach Kraft, time, situation, which shot is the right shot. You've got a 3-point lead. You want to try to get maybe a few more ticks off the clock. I'm pretty sure Justin Hill can get that 3 after a ball reversal. Perhaps an inside out might be a little bit more uncontested.
Skip pass to Mann. Offensive foul. A huge play from Christian Wilson. Has no made field goals, but has a massive defensive stop with just over 2.5 left to play.
And this is what this is what they do between Wilson and Carrywum. If they can't score, they make great defensive plays. We saw Wilson hit the clutch 3 in the corner yesterday. That defensive play right there may end up being the play of the game.
Battle between freshmen. Hill had it. He was defended by Williams. Now it's Munoz in the painted area. Cutting back door. Wilson shot seemingly denied, but a whistle comes in late.
Great eye by Juan Munoz. You know, the one thing about Munoz is he's so good at deciding how far should he get down into the paint. Good read by the Longwood offense. Of course, Wilson just slipping through on that backside, little backdoor cut, slip to the basket. Juan Munoz recognizing that and delivering the basketball.
Wilson has 4 points, all of them coming from the free throw line. And he stays perfect now, 5 for 5. Should be noted, this foul that you get another look at here was the 9th to go against Gardner-Webb, so one more foul from the Running Bulldogs, and that puts Longwood in the double bonus. Gardner-Webb already in that double bonus, so any foul from here out, you're getting 2 free throws to accompany it.
And TJ, you said you got to love free throws today. There have been a ton of them shot in this game.
We're now looking at 44 free throws between the two teams. And it's still been a very compelling game. It has not slowed down the pace, which is always good.
Deshaun Wade defending Demarion Williams. Great defensive matchup.
Cornwall for 3, just off the front of the iron. Offensive rebound was grabbed for a moment by Dufial, and a whistle comes in. That'll send the big man to the free throw line. 3rd time today. Thus far, Dufial is 3 for 5 from the stripe. A couple of big free throws on the way, trying to make it a one-possession game once more, and the first free throw rattles home. Just under 2 minutes left to be played. Dufial currently with 6 points. Misses on the second attempt, and Junior will stay at 6.
TJ, this Gardner-Webb team, rich with winning success over the years, a great Division II program before they transitioned. They started off in the A-Sun and then Big South because of the football aspect, really proving why they're one of the teams to watch out for in this league.
With only one senior on the roster, too. A big one in Cornwall, but this team has got a lot of good young pieces. Hill drives against one of them. Williams, beautiful shot fake, and the finish from Hill stretches the lead to 6.
Let's go, young man.
Timeout called by Coach Tim Kraft.
And has to adjust to the pace, to the strength, to the size. Everything's upgraded, whether you are at a high school or junior college or prep school. It doesn't appear that Justin Hill has had any problem fitting in right away to Division I basketball.
Cornwall, shot fake, finishes at the bucket. Cornwall and Hill alike. What we've seen them maneuver their repertoire around the basket, shades of Akeem Olajuwon, but they're guards. I mean, the footwork is tremendous. Less than a minute to go. Longwood leads by 4. Shot clock down under 8 seconds. Longwood's offense gets into motion. Hill has it poked away for a moment. Wade from the free throw line. Wild shot. Didn't look like it hit the rim, but Cornwall will take it the other way. Looked like he might have had Williams open on the wing for a moment. Cornwall, the left-handed finish is true. Back to a 2-point ball game.
Man press defense here for Gardner-Webb.
Meanwhile, Longwood with some flexibility. If Wade can't get it in, they do have a timeout to use.
Oh, the old school trick play. Haru Blygen steps into the out of bounds. D. Wade passes it across. That might have been courtesy of Marty McGillen. I don't know. The Longwood University Lancers with a secret weapon on their sideline in veteran associate head coach Marty McGillen, probably one of the best technicians I've had an opportunity to be around over the years. Wouldn't be surprised if that one came out of his mind. Good call by the Lancers.
Ultimately results in Juan Munoz heading to the free throw line. He knocks down the first. It's up to a 3-point game. 25.4. I think that's just too much time on the clock to miss on purpose here. Munoz with the make can bring it back to a 2-possession lead for the blue and white. And he's able to do just that. What a way to get into double figures scoring. Munoz now with 11.
Switching all screen action here. You can hear Juan Munoz and his teammates yelling switch.
Cornwall's layup no good. Rebound grabbed by Justin Hill, the Lancers' leading rebounder on the year, and he draws the foul. An opportunity now for Hill to continue to pat his terrific day. 23 points thus far, and an opportunity to get 2 more.
2 big free throws here really makes this 15.1 seconds really difficult if this thing moves to 6 points. Again, as you talked about, TJ, free throws everywhere.
What a 2-day stretch for Justin Hill. Yesterday sets a career high for threes made in a game with 4. Today, he got another career high in points scored in a game at 23 and counting.
He's got my vote for Big South Conference Freshman of the Week.
And looming larger, it's looking probable for Freshman of the Year, at least in my eyes.
How about you and I just run the vote? I vote yes.
Fittingly so. Hill goes 2 for 2. He's got a team best 25 points. Now a 6-point game. Gardner-Webb going to look for a miracle. Sears wraps around the baseline. Ultimately gets a layup.
Again, no timeouts for Gardner-Webb.
They'll foul Wade. Now he'll head to the stripe. It'll be his first appearance at the free throw line. He had 16 points, went 4 for 5 shooting from deep. So between today and now, including today and yesterday's showing for Wade, 7 for 9 shooting from downtown. 10 for 15 shooting from downtown. Quite the difference.
You like him at the line, about a 73% free throw shooter. Again, the Lancers taking care of business at the charity stripe today.
As mentioned earlier, in the 6 games preceding this series, he was 6 for his last 22. So then turn around, go 10 for, 15 over that same stretch? For the last couple of games now? Yeah, I'd say he found that shot. Cornwall from way downtown. Are you kidding me? He's got it all working. He's now at 32, and it's back to a one-possession game. Let the madness ensue.
I swear.
At this point, you just can't close the book on any game. Here's another look. We're talking about NBA
sky
range.
High. About took out one of those lights up there. We got an ice storm coming. We don't need to have any challenges with electricity at this point. Let Mother Nature handle it.
6 3-point shot made for Cornwall. Coach Kraft trying to talk it over with his team. It's 2 free throws here for Munoz. So Longwood could make a shot, then miss, keep it at a 2-possession lead.
Yep.
And we see Aldrich and Kraft talking it over. It was a long talk for Coach Kraft with his team. The referees were trying to get Gardner-Webb back out on the floor. And it looks like there was a technical awarded to Coach Kraft. Munoz all by his lonesome at the free throw line, and that will pretty much ice this game away. It's now a 2-possession lead, 2 seconds left. You can call it a ball game now. Longwood with a win will improve to 8-14. Make it 5 consecutive wins at home. They'll elevate to 7-9 in Big South play. Gardner-Webb drops their 3rd consecutive game, fall to 8-14 and 7-10 in conference action. These 2 teams will now flop in the standings. Longwood now 7th in the 11-team Big South ranks. Gardner-Webb falls to 8th. Munoz tallying up the stat sheet here. He's added 3 more points to his line. He's got 14. And he goes 4 for 4 to give him 15. Cornwall hoists it from half court, and the final buzzer sounds. Longwood officially sweeps the Gardner-Webb